As the name of this channel suggests, I'm a pretty big fan of Naruto. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time, but I never really got into the very first entry in the Naruto Storm series. With Sparking Zero on the horizon, I want to get my arena fighters back into my blood. So today we're going for the Platinum Trophy of Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1. I'm not going to be going into many story details during this video, so if you don't know anything about Naruto and are still deciding to watch this, then go read the manga after this. It's incredible. I would prefer you read the manga over watching the anime because it's better by a lot. The game of course starts out just after Naruto becomes a ninja, eating everyone's favorite food, Ichiraku Ramen. We'll have to make sure to collect ramen ingredients for Ramen Man over the course of the game, as well as buy some anime figures and other merch, because you can never have enough of them. Missions in this game are fairly straightforward. You pick one from a menu, you win the battle or whatever, and any of the special conditions set. That's it. First one was to just beat up Sensei. I made sure to dogpile him. I didn't realize it at the time, but this should have popped our first trophy for winning with an ultimate jutsu. More on that later. After every mission complete, these blue scrolls show up on the map. They're the currency used to buy support moves, and it's separate from real money, so I have to grind these out after every single mission. At this point, I go to check the trophy list and something is a bit off. It's not showing up at all. As you can see, I'm on PS3, so it takes forever to load. For those who don't know, the PlayStation 3 did not launch with trophy support. It came like a year or two or something into the console's lifespan and came in as an update. And that's one of the many reasons why they're so awful on the PS3 as compared to the PS4 and PS5. The trophy list not showing up, I just shrug off as a glitch and think maybe it'll show up when the first trophy pops and continue on. Not realizing, of course, that I should have already popped a trophy. We beat up Kakashi as a team for our next mission, then save a bunch of innocent, helpless kitties. At this point, I have enough scrolls to pay for a couple of support moves, the first of which should unlock our first trophy. Wait. Sometimes they're slow on PlayStation 3. Okay, maybe it's a glitch since I bought 2 of them at once. I just shrug this off as another glitch and continue on, again, forgetting that that should have been my second trophy. But I definitely should have noticed my issue at this point, and some of you watching should definitely know what that is. I save the game, back out to the menu to restart, maybe that will pop it? I reset the console, I even uninstall and reinstall the game, which is a rare occurrence for PS3 games to have to be installed to the console, but yeah, I tried it anyway.
Well, it was about that time that I noticed that
trophy
was about 8 stories tall and was a crustacean from the Paleozoic era.
Again, the game originally came out right around the time the trophies were created for PS3. It is one of the very few games to have never received an update to give it trophy support. Kinda like Assassin's Creed 1, but I'm literally staring at the PSN Profiles trophy guide for the game. I'm so confused. It's listed as a PS4 game. But that can't be right, it was only ever released on PS3. Turns out, there was a Storm Collection remaster released on PS4 that I didn't know about, and it's only in that version where it has trophy support. They still could have updated the original game to give it trophy support. They made the trophy list for the new version. They could have just ported it over, but no. No, let's mess with Nick's brain. Make him think he's crazy for 2 hours. So anyway, here's the Ultimate Jutsu trophy, as well as another one for using the full storm gauge of the first support ninjutsu purchase, and for finishing one mission with a regular jutsu. See what happens when you're playing the right version of a game? Here I found my first ninjutsu handbook in a chest. Finishing a battle with a support unlocks yet another trophy that I should have had already. There are quite a few forest-chased missions throughout the game where you have to dodge trees while hitting speed boosts. The first one is pretty easy, but they ramp up to be pretty annoying later. There's also a mission type for tree climbing that's just as ubiquitous, but it's the same concept. I guess they just wanted to pad out missions between fights so that it's not all fighting. In a shonen anime arena fighter, where shonen anime are Generally just anime where people punch each other. Punching anime characters is how you get enjoyment out of life. I buy some shuriken holsters in the shop and get a trophy for unlocking a new shop item. I then use those to break multiple boxes at the same time for the first of the 2 shuriken related trophies. Then I impale Sakura through the chest with a lightning blade, because of course who wouldn't want to do that? Am I right? I also managed to interrupt her ultimate jutsu for another pop. I was able to deliver my first new ingredient to Ichiraku Ramen to craft a new recipe. Speaking of that, Ichiraku Ramen is the sponsor of today's video! With Ichiraku Ramen Fresh, you too can make your own Ichiraku at home. First, we're going to grab some of our ingredients, starting with the classic Ichiraku noodles, a bottle of Ichiraku soy sauce, Ichiraku Parmesan, fresh picked Ichiraku spinach, as well as an Ichiraku tomato and an egg from Ichiraku Farms. We fill our pan with water, set our stovetop to high to get that water boiling. Next, we add those Ichiraku noodles to cook up for about 3 minutes. Don't forget to add that Ichiraku flavor packet and to stir. I personally choose to drain the excess Ichiraku flavor, but you can leave it in for a great soup. Next, we're dicing up part of that tomato, as well as the spinach. I'm adding these in, as well as the egg now while the noodles are still hot, so the egg cooks right in. Make sure you don't consume raw eggs for your own safety. We don't need anybody catching salmonella up in here. Next up is our soy sauce and Parmesan. After it's well mixed, it's going right in our Ichiraku ramen bowl, and bon appetit. Make sure to use code DONOTBELIEVEIT for 0% off your order. Ichiraku Ramen, the preferred dining establishment of the 7th Hokage. Now, back to the video. We went to the collectible shop to spend our cash on anime figures, as is required by Weeb law. Defeating Kakashi again completes the Genin training arc and unlocks the Chunin exams. Wait, we skipped over Zabuza and Haku's arc? What the fuck? I KO'd Kakashi for the billionth time, but this time on a wall to get this trophy. As well as earning Overflowing with Innocence for 10% of missions completed. I became an acrobatic ninja by swinging around like a monkey for scrolls. Which remember, I'm looking for scrolls in between every single mission. A pop-up happened in the Orochimaru fight, and I clicked it, so hey, turns out that pops a trophy too. A lot of these are free handouts, like adding a 6th item to the shop while buying the final shuriken holsters for a satisfying selection. Now that I have all of them, I can break 10 of these scroll boxes at once to become the Shuriken Master. Defeating Ino and Tamari, we finish off 20% of total missions for the long road ahead. Then Kiba the Ninja Tool was himself finished off with a ninja tool. We crafted up our 10th unique ramen recipe to become a gourmand. I'd like to mention exactly how much of a pain it is to get all of these overworld collectibles. Like, half of the game is dedicated to just grinding collectibles. Half the time I had to put a box on a switch in order to open a door, and every time it happened, I died a little inside. Naruto moves so slowly while carrying boxes. We try the Rock Lee vs. Gaara battle multiple times until we can get the canon version of this fight. Winning a fight while in Awakening mode unlocks a trophy, and this was the most fitting way to do it. I'm never gonna look at a crate without feeling PTSD ever again. I also yeeted Jiraiya, which gave me a trophy. I finally get enough scrolls for my 8th support jutsu to become a support master. Now I never have to grab another blue scroll again, which remember, I was doing in between every single mission so far. There's been at least like 20 of them, and I've done them all twice for the extra EXP. Like seriously, half of my footage so far has literally just been me grinding out the blue scrolls. I cut so much out. Here I had to do my first giant battle against Gamabunta. Not too difficult, just whack his hand, dodge some vomit, and win a quick time event. And that leads into the completion of the Chunin exam arc. I beat up Might Guy with Cursed Sasuke to earn the 30% mission complete trophy. And I don't know if I mentioned this yet, But did you know I hate crates? I went for the support ninjutsu trophy, so I retried this side mission multiple times until I was able to finish Shikamaru off with one of my partners. I impale Gaara because, you know, it's a canon event. Not important to the vid really, I just thought I'd mention it. I become both an amateur and veteran figure collector by dumping my entire life savings on 50% of them in one go. I also bought my first Haley Steinfeld single for the Music Fan Trophy, then ran out of money simping for her to become a music maniac. Oh, and hey, by the way, have I mentioned... Well, hey, at least there's a trophy for it this time. I somehow managed to take down the creepy snake dude with the Joe Biden of Hokages, hitting the 40% mission complete mark. This leads us right into our next giant fight, against the One-Tails Shukaku, and the obligatory sad Naruto flashback. It's literally just the Bunta fight again, but with sand that's coarse and rough and gets everywhere. This completes the Leaf Destruction arc. One of the things that happens a lot in anime fighting games is when you fight as the main character against the bad guy, with the condition being winning the fight. But in the manga and anime a lot, they lose the fight. It's a little pet peeve of mine. Please, just let me play as Itachi so that I can still have the requirement of winning the fight, but have it be actual canon. In this mission, I have to launch myself through rings to collect these gray scrolls, and by leaping through 12 of them in one go, I become the Naruto canon novice. It also nets me a trophy for completing 50% of missions. I have enough money to drop on albums for Music Master now, and I grabbed my first Ultimate Jutsu movie for its first trophy too. At this point, I've finally learned Naruto's signature move, the Rasengan, that he spams continuously throughout the entire series and never learns another jutsu. I mean, even Goku learns more than the Kamehameha wave. Why do I like this series again? I used the Rasengan for the first time to break this wall. This final giant battle in the game is the best of them, as you can use the other giants as supports. The best thing about this game truly is how cinematic the giant quick times are, and the visuals still really do hold up to this day. This completes the second to last arc, the search for Tsunade. Now it's time to have a falling out with Naruto's boyfriend, Yuri Lowenthal. Now I've skipped over a ton of fights because it would just be repetitive for this video, but I gotta include a little Sandman vs. Dinosaur Bone Boy. Oops. Look, I never said I was skilled at these games, okay? I just like to mash the buttons, you know? Makes me feel important. I get to the final mission, but I'm 11 points short on mission XP, so I have to go back and clear a couple bonus objectives first. This is the first time I hit an XP wall, because through the end of the Leaf Destruction arc, I did like every side mission possible. I kinda got bored of them and thought I had done enough at this point, and I was just one shy. So I beat up Ino and Hinata, and that's the last I need. Oh, wait, my controller died, hang on. There we go. I'm gonna leave the full final battle in here, because obviously it's cinema. As I edit this video, I have placed my Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Ultimate Edition pre-order, and I'm super excited to platinum that this October. So if you're not subscribed yet and you've made it this far, make sure you do, as I'll be doing the rest of the Storm series, as well as some other anime-related games in the future. So hit that like button as well if you're enjoying. YouTube thinks it's important and won't show this video to others if you ignore that. Now, with the Chasing Sasuke arc complete, it's time for the final cleanup. I do a bunch of various missions for extra cash, some multiple times in order to afford the Ultimate Jutsu movies, and get the Ultimate Jutsu Maniac trophy for 30% of them. I'm really thankful this platinum only requires 50% total collectibles to complete, as I'd really hate grinding for much longer than I had to for money. And finally, I managed to get the Ultimate Jutsu Master trophy. Next, I go for the second and third Naruto canon related trophies. I need to clear 42 rings in one shot, which means I need to go out of my way to find out how to unlock the last canon mission in order to have enough rings to even do it. This is the only thing in the entire playthrough that I actually had to follow a guide or video on, but I found the strategy was to position myself exactly perfect on this bridge with a full chakra bar from all of the Ichiraku Ramen upgrades. Yeah, so the Ichiraku Ramen trophies only make you get 10 recipes, but the Naruto Cannon trophy makes you get all of the recipes. Well, so much for cutting down on some of the collectibles. So that means more crates. Did you know I eat crates? All of that for a single scallion. It took quite a few tries to line myself up right, but eventually we got the Naruto Cannon Pro and Naruto Cannon Master trophies. I make my way over to the free battle mode to make the fighting related trophies left a little bit easier to achieve, as they're fairly specific. I even decided to dual wield controllers because some of these situations are just so rare that they didn't even pop up a single time the entire game. The first was simple, a jutsu clash. Really? That didn't come up the entire game at all? It's like every 5 seconds in a Dragon Ball game. Then winning with an ultimate impact, basically a super heavy attack. I tried really hard to get it earlier, but the CPUs just wouldn't have it since they wouldn't stay still long enough for me to even land a slow attack like that. Winning with a downed strike was a really tricky setup. Best I found was to do a throw to make sure your enemy is grounded and low health without killing them, and then low sweep for the last hit. The funniest one to cause me trouble was this last trophy, preventing an extra hit. I kept killing myself with the second controller until one finally triggered randomly. And then I had to juggle back to the first controller and hit the shoulder button, all in time to try to stop it. This one definitely took the longest, but we were able to finally achieve it for our first Naruto Platinum Trophy, the Perfect Storm Master. This game was far from perfect. There was way too much collectible grinding, even though you only need like 50% of the total collectibles for the whole thing. But it was still fairly easy, with PSN profiles giving it a 2 out of 10. I'd strongly recommend going for this platinum if you're looking for either something extremely easy but grindy, or if you're an extremely dedicated Naruto fan. If you are neither one of those, please, for the love of God, do not do this trophy. Also, make sure you have the PS4 version. Again, make sure you like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any of our future gaming endeavors. Believe it! Alright, that was cringe, guys.